Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ken with 444 Woodworks. Today I got this piece of, I'm not really sure what it is. I don't think it's maple. I think it might be camphor, but it doesn't really smell like it. Camphor usually has a strong smell, so I don't know. It's 5.5 on the short side, 6.5 on the larger side. I do have some cracks. You can probably see about right in here. Hopefully it's picking that up. It does come across. So we'll see. I was going to do a bowl, but I'm going to turn this down a little bit, see if I could get down into those cracks, see if I could get rid of them. If not, maybe we'll do a hollow form. Got the centers marked on either side. Going to chuck it up and start to form it out, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. All right, now that we're down in here, you can see it's got beautiful, beautiful grain. Bottom half looks really good. You can see I got all this spalting, a lot of punkiness up here on the top. So I doubt I'm gonna get through that. I got a little check right here. A little bit that's not even yet there. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep turning this up into a bowl form for right now, kind of coming up this way, seeing if I can get through any of this, and then we'll make a final decision what we're gonna make out of it after that. All right, for the first time, I'm going to use some Axe abrasive paste. This isn't my normal process. I usually don't do any of the finishing until after I get through the whole project, just in case something doesn't work out or, whatever. So from what I understand, you just kind of wipe it on, and then we're going to turn it up. I don't know if I'm really using too much here or not, but I want to at least get it around the piece before I turn it up and start putting some friction on it. I'm going to do a little bit to this top side too that you probably can't really see right now. Alright, I'm going to fire it up. I see most other people go to about 400 or 500 to get it going. I'm going to stick with that same part of the paper towel. And you can definitely hear it. You know, that's one thing people comment on and say you can hear it as the abrasive is working. Yeah, once it breaks down, it'll get a little bit quieter. I can definitely hear it getting quieter. Not sure if it's picking it up on camera. I'm going to flip this around, go to a clean area, and turn it up a little bit to about 1 grand. And from what I see, you just kind of go until nothing comes off the paper, on the paper. It's probably hard to see for you, but it's pretty clean. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, very nice. Really like that a lot. There's a little piece of tear out or something I got there. So I'm gonna do one more coat of this, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, this is the Axe polishing wax. And from what I understand, you basically do the same thing with this. Take a little bit, apply it to the surface, and then we're gonna buff it off again. I believe this is a mixture of carnauba wax and whatever else. Okay, I've got that applied pretty good there. I'm going to fire this up to about 400 plus and just do the same thing. Fire it up to a little over 1,000. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, beautiful. All right, I've got the piece turned around in a Nova G3. I do have a couple pieces still, a couple cracks still left in here. I've got one right here, if you can see it, and it does go through at least to halfway into the blank. Got another one on the other side right here, little piece right here. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of black CA, pop it in there, hit it with some accelerator, just to fill that in a little bit. I didn't really want to lose this rim because if you can see, I've got this little void right here, this little bug hole, and a couple other things. And if I would have come down farther, I would have been into that on the actual rim. And even though these kind of touch the rim, they're pretty tight in there. So I think with a little bit of CA, I think that'll be fine. I'm going to try to be very careful with this because we already did this finish on here. So I'll see how that goes. I'm going to do that first before I start turning. but I think we'll be good with that. I really like voids in wood, things like that. I like when we end up with bug holes. That's kind of one of the things I love about turning. So I definitely wanted to leave that. I didn't say it earlier, I don't think, but I believe I'm going to make just like a nice lidded vessel with this. I think what I'll do is I'll turn some sort of shorter lid with some maybe gigantic obnoxious finial on it. So I think that'll be cool. Maybe something just dyed black, unless I find another piece of cool piece of wood that I have laying around, spindle blank, that'll kind of go with this. But this is just so beautiful to me, all this beautiful grain pattern here, and then with the spalting and everything else we have in there, I think a really dark lid with a finial will go good. So let me grab some CA and we'll start doing that. Okay, I'm back. I know I said I was going to use black CA, but went to the vault and apparently I don't have any. So luckily I have some brown here. So I think this will do the same thing that we need it to. So we're going to use this. Let me grab a paper towel real quick. Let's see what we got, kids. No. Flip it over to the other side. This is the bigger void. All right, I've got a freshly sharpened negative rake scraper, and I'm just going to hit right on this part of the rim right here, just to try to knock some of that off very, very lightly. Let's check that out. Yeah, very nice. That worked friggin' perfectly. I love that. Didn't really compromise my little lip here. Didn't really go too far with the glue, so you can't really see it. Didn't really affect what we already finished. Still get to maintain my little void right here. Good deal. Now we'll get going on hollowing out the inside after we flatten off the top. And this is where it all went bad. Or so I thought. All right, so cut my finger. That was the last shot you saw. And then I went and started moving my form around. And yeah, here we are. So this is obviously the spalted area. It's very soft. I could push more out if I really tried. I obviously got a little thin, as we can see. So that certainly didn't help. But the spalted area, even when I was working on the outside of it, I could feel a divot in here. It just, I think the spalting, I could still even feel right here. It's a little farther in. It, I don't know, it just gives way for some reason. I guess that's just how it works. But, yeah, this is what I got. So I'm going to let it sit overnight. I'm not giving up on it because I friggin' love this piece. I think it's a beautiful piece, beautiful grain in it. So I'm going to have to get creative here. So we'll reconvene tomorrow. See you then. All right, so I actually let this piece sit about 5 days thinking about what I wanted to do. And what I ultimately decided on was drilling some holes and running some thin rope through it, both up and down, and then weaved left to right through that. I'm calling it a little bit of a basket weave because it has that flow to it. I think some will end up loving this, some will end up hating it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I chose some brown rope, and I think it works pretty well with it. I'm definitely very much into contrasting of textures and just different things within the form. So did this, kept drilling, took my time. I did not record the rope part because I had to move the form around quite a bit, so it would have been probably not the best recording and probably pretty boring to watch. So I'm going to drill some holes, and then I'm going to add some finish to it before I show you the final product.